This is the video for the Project Space Shoot 'em Up. And first off, I'll show off all the scripts, and then I'll get more into detail within the in-game engine with the inspector and the actual game itself. But as I said, first off, I'll start off with the scripts. So to start off, we have the tank controls, which should be in the player movement script. And all that should be over here, which should give you the ability to rotate the player ship and provided the ability to move both vertically and horizontally, and of course with rotation involved. As you can see, there's also a way to define the speed of the rotation over here, and you can also define the speed in which the ship can go at. That is all found in the inspector, but as I said, the ability to rotate the ship and give that kind of tank control ability is all located here in the first couple lines in the Void update. And then for the use of on-trigger enter 2D, I would expect that to be in the damage handler. There it is over here. Here's a version of a on-trigger enter 2D. I probably have used more than one. I wouldn't doubt it. So over here, here's the function definition for the on-trigger enter 2D, and this is responsible for health. So essentially, if the player ship gets hit, then they lose health. And it also will provide an invincibility period, in which once the player ship loses a life, you don't have to worry about getting shot at immediately and losing that life instantly. But there is... Actually, oh no, never mind. I feel like there might be another on-trigger enter 2D. I'll see if I find more as I continue on with this video. But as I said, here's a example of an on-trigger enter 2D, which is all for health. Then an on-trigger... Let's see, do I have any other on-trigger enter? Oh yeah, here's another on-trigger enter. This is for the danger zone. So this is essentially the box colliders, which surround the scene of the game. And what that does is essentially if a asteroid enemy ship or the player ship decides to leave the scene, it will instantly destroy the game object. So that is located over here. Let's see, is there any more on-trigger 2D? Doesn't seem like there's any more besides the... It doesn't seem there's any more. Oh, hold on. Nope. So it seems to be there's only two on-trigger enters with the damage handler and the danger zone. Or the death zone, whichever one you prefer to call it. And now for the script that should be responsible for the heat seeking. This is all for enemy ships. There is no heat seeking with the asteroids. Let's see, where would that be? This one. Faces clear. Here it is. Okay, so this is the script responsible for detecting the player ship and rotating itself and moving itself towards the player ship. This will also, with the rotation, have the ability so the bullets don't just go straight at a 90-degree angle or just at a very restricted angle. With this, the bullets will actually also go at the same direction in which the ships are facing at. So if the ships are facing southwest, for example, then the bullet will also go southwest instead of either going south or west. And this should be the script for the heat-seeking mechanic. The randomizer. Let's see. So I have two randomizers, one for the enemy ships and the other one for the asteroid. So for the asteroid spawner, let's see over here. So this is the script for randomizing the spawn location of the asteroids, and the asteroids spawn at a specific point at a line instead of the enemy ships, which should spawn at a radius within the circle. Let's see, where would that be? An enemy spawner, of course. Let's see. So this one, this is the enemy spawner script. So this one randomizes the spawning point for the enemies at a specific spot within a circle radius. Then the destroy on collision. Let's see. I'd expect that to be on. Oh no, that's only for on trigger, I suppose. Let's see, on collisions. Is there any other specific on collisions that I put in here? Let's see. Shooting. Doesn't seem to be a specific method to it. I mean, there is the where are they? Oh, I just lost it. There's a danger zone in which if as I said, any of the asteroids or ships collide with it, it'll destroy the game object itself and not the danger zone or death zone. Same can also be said, if I can find that script, should be in the damage handler. Within the damage handler also, if the with the collisions within the damage handler script, so if a bullet is obviously shot at and it hits either the asteroid or enemy ship or the player ship, it collides with it and either destroys the object or decrements the health of the player ship. Also, if two game objects besides the bullet collide with each other, then they will both destroy each other. Oh, one thing I also I forgot to mention the lives. Let's see, it should be in player spawn most likely. Okay, yeah. So over here you have the public variable for the number of lives for your player ship. You can determine, so that means you can go inside the inspector and give it any amount of lives depending on what you personally would want it to have. And with spawn points, also it's more, with spawn points, as I said, it's all randomized within the enemy ships and asteroids, but with the player ship, it spawns at the very origin of the game. There is a use of an instantiate. Should be around here. There it is. Okay, so for the use an instantiate for the function definition for the spawn asteroid. So you can see over here, this one is responsible for creating a clone of the asteroid and randomizing it at any point of the x-axis. And when it comes to bugs and errors, it doesn't seem like there was any bugs and errors. I was thinking about implementing a explosion particle effect in which once a game object was destroyed, a little explosion would pop out. The problem is that itself would cause a bug in which the explosion would show off, but the bullets wouldn't destroy themselves. As you can tell over here, there's a lot of comments with all the gray lines, font, and all that kind of stuff, and every lines, on all the scripts, there's comments almost everywhere. Project organization. So now I guess I can go to Unity itself. So when it comes to organization, over here you can see that I have everything all organized. I have the graphics, which I have given credit to under the repo. The only thing is the player ship was designed by me. Music file over here, which I also gave credit to. There's a prefabs file, the scene file, of course the scripts file. Also the over here at the hierarchy, everything here is organized. It's not really all bundled up. And let's see if I can go to the any other things. So, for example, prefabs, player ship, open prefab. Over here, you can see that you can add a fire delay for the bullets, so you don't have to spam the bullets every time. Instead, you can decide how long of a period can the next bullet be shot. Over here, you have your health. You can put in any number. I'm going to put it at 1 so I can show the effects of collision. The invulnerability period, you can put it over here. That's in case you want to add more than 1 life and want to make sure that the player ship isn't destroyed immediately after it spawns. Is trigger. Oh yeah, you can see over here the polygon collider for the player ship has a is trigger effect to it. Layering and tags over here under players. I believe the same can be said also. Oh yeah, here's the explosion thing. I don't know why it's still there, but it's there for aesthetic reasons, I suppose. The player enemy sprite you can see over here, it has the same effect, a fire delay, a bullet, prefab. You can determine what bullet you want to use. Maybe you want to use a different bullet. And then over here you have the damage handler script, 1 health. The rotational speed, I'm going to put it at 90. The max speed, I'm going to put it as is 3, so don't put it as equal to the player ship. And this, let's see, what about the asteroids? What can be adjusted here? For the asteroids, also health 1, you can add any number to it as much as you like. There's the is trigger also for the polygon collider. There's an is trigger. There should be an is trigger for asteroid, enemy ship, and player ship for the collision effect. And I suppose I'll just show some of the gameplay now to fully show how it works. I'm gonna first turn down the volume a little bit for the music. Where is it? To be the main camera. Oh yeah, the space background image I also gave credit to within the repo. I'm gonna lower the volume on this thing. Just put it at 0.5 for now. Also, within the game project, you'll notice a couple pixels kind of raining down. That's supposed to be stars over here. So as you can see, once the bullet collides with anything, it will destroy the game object and the bullet itself. As you can see, the enemy ships will spawn at random points through a specific radius restriction. And the player ship spawns in the middle. Let's see. I have multiple lives included in the player ship, so as of now, I believe the player ship has 3 lives. As you can see, 1 life, and then 0 lives, and then it gives you the game over state. And that's about does it for this video for the Project Shoot 'em Up.